Hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's so great to have you here. I'm Dr. Pat. I'm joined by Robert Schoenfeld. Today, we are talking about the art of powerful living radio, but today's topic is the art of powerful joy. For the love of joy. And by the way, for those of you that know who Robert is, that is the title of his hit book, For the Love of Joy. Today's show is also on Facebook Live. And for those of you that are thinking, what is the Facebook Live thing? I got to tell you, I'm trying to figure out what Facebook Live is myself. All I know is that today, Robert and I get to talk with you from our studios, various places of the country. I love it. And we're talking about something that Robert is super, super passionate about. So if you're thinking about, well, wait a minute, what is joy? How do I bring more of it in my life? Robert is going to give you a tried and true formula for that today. If you know who he is, he's a phenomenal artist. He's a human potential leader. He is somebody that is out in the world saying, we can create the most amazing, joyful life. And today's show is about that. What if, all of you, what if you could change your set point, your joy set point? Robert, it's great to have you here. How fun is this?
Dr. Pat, it is fantastic to be here. Thank you.
Well, let's just talk about what you got going on in the background right there. Because for the folks that are watching on Facebook Live today, which I'm trying to figure out how to get up on my phone, which is like, this is so interesting for me. I'm like social media 101. One of the things people are looking at is an art, a piece of art that you recently did. And you're going to talk to us not only about that, but how your art and how our joy can come to a whole new level, right?
Exactly, exactly. They say that all of life is a vibration. We all talk about the, essence of life, whether it be sound or color or whatever it is. And what I do in my paintings is work with that vibration to hopefully make a visual image that can actually raise your set point to bring more happiness, joy, fulfillment, and even maybe some more success into your life.
So tell us about this set point.
Okay, the set point, everybody has one. And Dr. Pat, everybody wants to be happier. I mean, whether it be, better health, more success in life, closer families, it's all wrapped up in joy. And what I'm talking about here is to raise that level so that we can experience more pleasure in our families, in our success, in our health. And Dr. Pat, this is not just a roller coaster kind of joy where one minute you're happy, the next minute you're down. This is more of a core joy where your full essence is lifted up, and so that you are beaming and you have that brightness in you, and it comes from the inside, and it's a constant. And of course, you'll still have your ups and downs in life, but this is a core level that's raised so that you now are experiencing life at a very much higher level, more enjoyable level, and you're glowing from the inside and especially on the outside.
Well, when you wrote your book, For the Love of Joy, you've outlined, what I call a formula for, joy success, let's call it. Because, so many of us have gotten out there, we've tried, we thought we were, had the zone that was going on with that. We thought we had that set point you were talking about. But guess what? We did not. What is it that you've discovered about joy that allows us to have a fuller expression of it?
So that's the whole idea. It's where one puts their focus. And Dr. Joy, a lot of us have stress in our lives, whether it be political or whatever. If we take our focus off of these things and put it on the story we want to have in our lives, the magnificence we want to have in our life, the vision that we have for ourselves, to express our dreams, express our desires, to live our voice, to live our freedom, to live our beauty. This is the expression of full joy, and this is how you raise your set point.
Okay. So when I think about this, and I think about the many things that happen in our lives day in, day out, you know, what are the three things we could do today to raise that set point up? How do we look at making an adjustment to that set point today. Because many people listening to this, Robert, may not know enough about your work or what a set point is. But clearly, if I look at the painting behind you right there, kind of you and I have these things that we do. And when we do them, there's nobody that can mess with our joy, right?
Well, I wish that was true. Dr. Pat, there's always bumps in the road, and there's always slow traffic, and there's always, someone put a dirty dish, or whatever it might be that
No,
triggers.
no, not the dirty dish thing. No way. No way is the dirty dish thing. But I understand what you mean.
Exactly. So I'm not talking about a utopia here, although I would love for us to move into more of a life like that. We still live in a real world, but yes, there are definite things we can do. One is lower your stress. And one thing that I highly recommend, turn off your TV or even get rid of your TV. Go to bed at 10 o'clock. Turn off all electronics by 8 o'clock. It's just simple things like that that make your life more relaxing, more enjoyable. Make that time from 8 to 10 a family time where you're playing games, you're reading, you're talking about the trip you're going to take this summer. Make this, make your life, and basically this is Pat. This is the secret right here. Set your life up. Sit down, put down some ways that you want to bring more joy, more love into your life, and then go and live it.
Well, tell me this. I want to hear a story about the points in time in your life where maybe you weren't a little bit, had the joy going on, but then you learned about how to make this switch. Because I think that you're right. I think we each have moments in our lives where it's just not looking all like great. But on the other hand, we also don't have to live in the story of that. So, what have you been able to do? How have you been able to change it?
That's a great question. I've told you the story before about how I became an artist, that I was very frustrated as a ceramic potter trying to make a living, and I just was making enough money to get by, and it just wasn't satisfying at all. I didn't know what to do. Sometimes in life, an opportunity comes and you just have to jump. And this was an opportunity to go to Israel, and I was there for 4 months, 2.5 months actually, and that's where my painting came from and my intuition to move in this direction. But it was really a risk I took to do this. And there are opportunities that come to life. And this is the idea. Life gives you these opportunities, and it's really up to you to have the focus, the strength, and the courage to jump into them, and jump into them with a smile and both feet, you know?
Well, what did you learn in Israel? I mean, the whole idea of going to Israel and to learn and to study, I mean, that is a treat in itself. I mean, was that all smooth or how did that work out?
So that was bumpy too, but a little bit at first. So let me give you a
Hmm.
little story. It's an amazing, amazing story. So this is back in the 1970s when the wars between Israel and Egypt were still happening.
Yes.
And they were trying to get peace going. President Carter was trying to get peace going between Sadat and Begin, and it wasn't working. The peace talks were broken up. So Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, who is the founder of TM, Transcendental Meditation, invited 500 of us from America and a couple from Europe to go to Israel into a town called Safat. It's a very holy town up in the mountains. It's where the Kabbalah was written. And to meditate there with the idea that meditation causes a calming effect, not only in the individual, but in the environment. And when you have large numbers like 500, which is a very powerful number, it causes a calming effect for the whole area. So it took care of the whole Middle East. And so we were there for 2.5 months, and we meditated day and night, and we learned programs called the cities, which is an advanced technique. And while I was there, it was, you go through what's called unstressing. There's, you've got 30 years of stress in you, and it just helps to relieve it all. But while I was there, I was given a gift. And you see the painting on my right side here, the colors that you see in this painting here were given to me visually. So my eyes were closed and meditating, I would see these colors. And it
Wow.
was a beautiful, beautiful gift to me. It
Wow.
was very euphoric. And this was part of my set point too. It just gave me that confidence and that beauty inside to know that I can go back to Seattle, paint, and be very successful. But the other gift was, while we were there, within a month, the talks were back on. And within 2 months of us being there in Israel, they had initialed the peace treaty between Israel and Egypt. So it was a win-win in all directions. But it was a risk. I jumped on it and came back just glowing.
I love this because, one of the things we're looking at is, how do we include in our lives the things that we totally love? And how do we know that if we do that, Robert, things are going to turn out the way we want? And the reason I love this question is because part of this is that if I truly do what I love and I experience what I love, how can I be sure that the rest will be taken care of? Now, I know when we come back from break, we're going to talk about the colors. We're going to talk about the colors of joy. We're going to show and share our experience on how we can move through these colors, what they mean, and how we can tap into them to not just change where we are in any given day, but truly use what you've created as a tool for our lives. Let's take a short break, everyone. We'll be right back.